Good evening and welcome to our loyal viewers of Education Matters. It has been brought to the studio's attention that bullying has become out of control in Australian schools. Alarming statistics in the national survey studies illustrate that 74% of 8 to 11-year-old students have reported that bullying occurs within their school. With technological advances and the use of social media and cyberbullying, we are all concerned of what is to come. We have decided to interview 3 participants from different decades to grasp an understanding of what bullying was and what it is becoming within our contemporary schools. I will now cross over to reporter Claire Stanley. Over to you, Claire.
This is Cecily and she's our 1930s participant. So Cecily, how was lunch and recess when you were at primary school?
Well, I sat alone and had my lunch because I couldn't sit with other kids because I was alone.
The teachers didn't know that you didn't fit in?
No, they didn't know because when we got out of the classroom, we done what we liked and I done what I want. I didn't want to fit in.
And that you couldn't talk to them about it?
No.
So Cecily, was there any bullying at your school?
There was never an issue of being bullied at my school, but there was one girl I bullied. She put her feet out and tripped you, and she poked your tongue out. And
So this girl, she never got caught?
no, she never got caught because they wasn't looking for bullying because bullying wasn't an issue. Now I look on the TV, today there is a lot of bullying, but my days there wasn't.
If someone was caught doing something wrong?
You got the cane. You put your hand out and got the cane. And if you pulled your hand in, you'll get it again.
Thanks so much for your time, Cecily. You're a great insight into 1930s schooling life. Back to you, Laura.
Thanks, Claire. It is interesting to see how bullying wasn't a big issue back in the 1930s. I'll now cross over to reporter Crystal Jones. Over to you, Crystal.
I'm sitting here now with our 1960s participant, Nigel. So Nigel, how do you remember your playground days at primary school?
Well, during lunch and recess, we used to play cricket, handball. Sometimes we used to play fight, but it never got too serious.
So you used to fight with your friends. Did you ever consider that to be bullying?
No, we were just play fighting. It never really got too serious. It was just a bit of fun.
Do you remember any sort of bullying taking place when you were at primary school?
I didn't really notice any bullying myself. I was never part of it. But there were some kids that would just pick on the different kids.
So if you were bullied and it got really severe, would you or anyone else go and talk to your teachers about it?
Well, if it was getting out of hand, you'd tell your parents first. We were pretty scared of the teachers back then. Then it'd be our parents' responsibility to talk to the teachers.
Okay, Nigel, so can you please give me your insight on bullying today and how it's changed since you were a kid?
Well, today, with so much technology around, with Facebook and Twitter, bullying can just get completely out of hand.
Okay, thanks for that, Nigel, and thanks for being here today. I'm crossing back to you now, Laura.
What another great insight into bullying. It was interesting to see how this participant resulted in the plan of action of telling their parents. I will now be crossing over to reporter Claire Stanley. Over to you, Claire.
So we're here with Grace and she's our 2000s participant. So Grace, did your year get along well?
Most of us got along pretty well, but there were some kids that would talk about others and just be mean to them.
So were there any other types of bullying that you witnessed other than verbal?
Some girls mostly would make fake accounts on social media and talk bad about others and like cyberbully them.
So when you were bullied, what did you do about it?
I first told my parents and I was told by them that the best thing to do was to tell my teacher, which I then did and she sorted it out.
So what happened to the bullies?
Their names were written in the Red Book, which was a book that had a list of names and the things that they had done wrong. The teacher would talk to the whole class about the issue, and most of the time she would pull the bully aside and talk to them.
Thank you so much for your insight in the 2000 schooling life, Grace. Now back to you, Laura.
Thanks, Claire. So, wow, what a difference we can see over time. Although bullying has always existed, these interviews reinforce how it's escalated over the years. It was interesting to see how the teacher interactions and behaviour management has changed. Thank you for tuning into Education Matters. I'm your host, Laura Morgan. Good night.